Okay. Hello and welcome to my training. My name is Kaylee Murphy. I am a silver level leader and I am also a digital marketer on top of being a travel agent. So I like to kind of throw in some of the stuff I do as a digital marketer as well to kind of give you guys a good idea of how to use Canva to elevate your business. So I'm gonna get right into it. So I've used Canva for a lot of things. I started out using Canva to create my website originally, which is free. It's very easy to use, very user friendly. I can show you that as well, but I don't use that currently. I did end up switching to a different host for my website that I designed myself, but I do also do that as well. So I will be doing another training for that also to share. So I use Canva to create my business cards. I use it to create newsletters for my clientele. I usually try to send out a newsletter quarterly. And I'm going to just show you one that I've actually created. This is one of the ones that I'm talking about. So this is basically just I do like a little article about, and basically a lot of it comes from ChatGPT. So I kind of, ask for ideas and then I'll do like a spotlight on like, or I'll search the best, for like this was last year's for the spring and it was getting ready for summer. So what I did was I went onto Google. I searched the top 5 places that people are going in the summer of 2024. And I basically chose one of those places and I wrote a little blurb about it. And I asked ChatGPT to write something for me. And then I kind of just made sure that everything was correct and put this together. Using my branded colors and sent this out via email to my clients. And it's basically just like sending it out like an email blast. Here is my business card. And this is again another way. The nice thing about business cards is you can have them be uh, in a horizontal or vertical, uh, like the way that they're laid out. I use Canva and I also get curved edges. So let me just see if I can show you. So you can actually get rounded at corners, which I kind of like. It kind of elevates it a little bit. But it's just another example of ways you can kind of make it a little more fancy so it's not just a basic business card. The next thing is I created a document for a cruise checklist. And so I created that and then I use this. I also add in, and I've seen it done in other trainings too, and I think it's a really great idea. If you are someone who also does affiliate links for things like Amazon, Walmart, as an additional revenue stream for your business, this is a great way to put these in here, and you can put hyperlinks to these particular things if there's certain things that you can recommend such as certain sandals that might be your favorite, certain travel toothbrushes, things like that. It's little stuff, piddly stuff, but there's things like an e-reader. You can add things in there, and then there's you can put hyperlinks in there. So this way your clients can kind of just click. So one of the ideas that's a really good idea is like a power bank or a portable charger, and also power adapters and things like that. Because those are things that sometimes people will purchase for a trip specifically. And so why not put a link right there so that they can just click on the link and order it. And it's easy for them and it helps you because they purchased it through an affiliate link. So that's another idea. And so I have a couple of those. This is a more involved one. This is for cruises. But I do also have one for international, which again, this is an example of that. I'm going to try to enlarge this a little bit for you. So basically, this is just kind of like a basic thing. And when I first started, I would print this out and put this in a folder with the client's itinerary, and I would mail it out to them if they chose to if they chose to have a paper itinerary to bring with them on their trip. Some people don't. I also use TravelJoy for mine, so they have an app that they can download and access their itinerary right on their phone via an app. But some people still like to have that, paper in their hand kind of a thing. So what I would do is always print this out and it kind of just gives it a little bit extra. It's got my name on it and it kind of just elevates it a little bit more. It's something else that has your name on it that's branded. that, when they pick it up, maybe they don't necessarily, use it, but maybe they find it later and they go, oh, you know what? I want to call her and make it, make a plan to do another trip. So it's just one more way of putting your name and your brand in front of your clients. Um, this is another example. So I made this was a, pause it. So this was a, promo video that I made. So I'm originally from New York. I am now right outside of Nashville, Tennessee. So I made a promo video to post for people that I know that are still in New York that might want to come and visit or maybe want to do. So this is a promo video, and it's just an example of another thing that I put up that kind of makes it a little more, it gives it a little more pizzazz. So you can, just an example, like you can use this. I use that as a mock booking. So I posted this on my Instagram, on my YouTube, on my Facebook, on my TikTok, and I just use it as a promo video that I can kind of display in a different way, a mock booking that I had done for a trip to Nashville. So that just shows you one example of how to do a mock booking that's more than just using, doing captions and pictures. And it kind of brings it alive a little bit and it kind of gives it a little bit of extra So pizzazz. So you can kind of put in, this is obviously what I started with, and I put it all together, and then it was 477.50 a person, and that was for, a really nice hotel and for a girls trip. So kind of, just a way to display it. I think I also put in some ideas for things to hit when people are in the city, recommendations, and then put my little promo at the end where I say, here, you can call and text me, and I'd love to get you started on a trip. So that's just one example. The other thing is, so this is for my social media, but my digital marketing business, but you can actually create covers for your Instagram, and I'll show you actually what that looks like. Let me just pull up my Instagram, and I can show you what that looks like.
Not stop running.
Oh, that's all right. All right, so I'm gonna switch. Let me just give me 1 second. Okay. So I'm gonna show you my digital marketing Instagram because so then you can see what I'm talking about. So you can go to my Instagram and you'll see these are called covers. So these are story covers. So when you put a story on or reel and you save it to your favorites, it will come up here. And so you can click on that and it's just the cover of basically what the things that you've saved. And it kind of puts them into a place where they'll always be accessible. So this is just an example of things that I've created. So that's just an example. So you can also create that on Canva as well. This is the logo that I've created, and I created it both with and without my actual name, business name, and little slogan. So I also put one without, so this way I could use it for other types of images I might want to create where I don't want to have that in there. And I also created one with a translucent background so that you can put it on top of a video or another picture, and it looks like it's just there's no actual background, so it kind of sees through. So that's another way of doing that as well. And then Here is one that I had helped one of my agents create was a logo for her business. And you can kind of play around with these. You can play around with pictures. You can play around with colors. You can play around with fonts. You could do it for hours, but it can be kind of fun because you can kind of make it your own. You can start with something that's a template that's in their, actual, you can go into their designs and actually click on them and make changes. But you can also kind of make it your own too. So I think this was one that we kind of played around and changed colors up and changed fonts. And I think we ended up wrapping the text around the circular picture in the middle. And so it kind of makes it, it could be fun. It could be something that, you can kind of, I've rebranded mine also already. So I've been in business now for about a year and a half. And I just rebranded my my business. I just changed it from, let me see if I could find if I put up the my old brand used to have a little bit different. Let me see. Oh, it's in here. Yeah. So this was my old logo, and then this is what my new logo is. So it just gives you an idea. Like you can always rebrand at any point in time. It's, yes, is it better to do it at the beginning? But when I first picked it out, I was kind of just getting something on paper. But it's kind of nice because you can kind of change things up and make things your own, especially once you kind of get an idea of the niche you're in and whether or not you want to, do something specific to that, or maybe even want to create another brand. I mean, there could be a different brand. So maybe you do, family vacations, but I also specialize in honeymoons as a niche. So, if I specialize in honeymoons as a niche, I'm considering creating a second brand that is just based on destination weddings and honeymoons because I want to cater to that. And so maybe Wanderlust Adventures by Kay may not be it, but maybe it's like Romance Adventures by Kay or, something along those lines, but not specifically my regular business. Now I'll still use my same phone number and all that stuff, and I can still use the same colors, but maybe just rebrand the image and make the name a little bit more closer to that niche. So that just gives you another idea of ways to kind of create a secondary brand that kind of goes underneath your main brand, where you can actually, like I said, show off your niche capabilities, whether it be, maybe all inclusives or cruises or any number of things. So that kind of just gives you, I mean, literally the it's limitless. The endless. The I can't speak today. The limits are endless. Like the possibilities are endless. You're basically limitless. Like you can do whatever, works for your business and at any point in time. This is another little promo. This is an Instagram reel I actually created. This is a little bit longer, so I had to cut it down a little bit, but I'll just show you, I'll run you through. The bar closes and you feel like falling down. I'll carry you home. So this was for a basically a mock booking that I did for, I believe it was an Exotica trip. It was a wellness trip. So that just kind of shows you like another way of doing it, and you can put it into a reel or a story for Instagram, which is like the new hottest thing on kind of getting your brand out there and advertising yourself. And all of these videos and images were all a part of the things that are available to you. So these are all videos that are already in here. Um, you can search things like, you know, just travel. And there's all of these videos that you can cut down to a certain amount of speed, to a certain amount of seconds that you can use and kind of just splice them together, and you can create one reel or story that you can use and upload onto your Instagram. So there's like all different things, videos you can do with this, and you can kind of play around with it. And basically it's just putting things together, making a little promo commercial, basically, a little mini commercial that you put on your Instagram or your social media, and you can kind of it kind of elevates it a little bit. It doesn't it makes it not so it's not just a picture or a video of you talking about your, talking about something, or a picture, a video of maybe something where you were on vacation. It kind of puts a little bit more, and you can change the different the other thing I wanted to show you too. You can change the transparency. So like on the image or the video, whatever the case is, you can make it so it's all kind of uniformed. You can also put filters on these things. You can kind of, you can play around with so many different things. You can also put background colors behind the image and then do the transparency. So say you want to do the background, make the background, let's see, black. So this is I'll show you my social medias. This one, select my bearing kit. So you make this as the social media is black. And so then when you go to make it transparent, you're kind of making it so the words are white and pop out a little bit more. And so you can do a lot of different things with these kinds of tricks. If you're interested in learning more about how to do these things too, I also recommend you go on Instagram, go on Facebook. Instagram is probably the best, and TikTok maybe even. You can go on and follow people that just create content and then share. They usually will sell courses and things like that, but a lot of things they share, tips and tricks that I've learned for free just watching them share certain content that just brings value to their audience, that is free value. So I always recommend, like, if you're ever interested in kind of elevating your content as a whole, definitely go and search out, content creators or people that are in the digital marketing space and just follow them. Even if you don't choose to actually purchase their courses or anything like that, they share a lot of really great tips and tricks on how to do things like this or create stickers on Instagram. So just that's just a sidebar. But, a lot of the things I've learned on how to create content in Canva have been from that, as well as my digital marketing course that I've taken. But, again, you don't have to do all that stuff. You can learn a lot on your own. So I'm just going to show you. This is another one. This was just a fun, quick promo, and it was basically just like a girls' trip. And again, using all videos, this is the transparent logo I was talking about, where it kind of just floats it up. And it's just a little video on how to, creating a girls trip for you and your friends. And it just kind of it's fun. It's fun and it's loose and it's pretty and it's aesthetic. And so it kind of just, gives your brand a little bit of extra zing, and it shows that you're, more than just a travel agent. That, it's like it's art. It's fun. In fact, it's one of my favorite things to do now is create content, which is why I got into digital marketing in the first place. But it's just a lot of fun to kind of put things together and kind of get that creativity. This is another one about honeymoons. And so there's just different ideas. And that was all using the same video, nothing crazy. And you just kind of put things together. You can use ChatGPT to kind of come up with ideas for content too. And you can always enter that in. This was another idea for a mock booking. Again, picking out a pretty picture and then putting a QR code. And this is something I could, put on a poster, or I could put it on social media, or I could put it, on the back of a business card. You never know. But here's an idea. This was another thing I did. The other thing I thought about is doing flyers in my neighborhood to kind of drum up business where are of people that are. Listen, nowadays people don't do it as often, but tuck them in mailboxes. It's another great way of building a clientele and actually working with people that that are in your neighborhood that you can connect with on a face-to-face level. So it's not all digital. This is just an example of another, like I said, another mock booking that I put together, and it's just a different way of doing it and kind of presenting it to clientele or your audience. Here's another one, another again real. And you can put, music. I found that Canva's music is not as extensive, their collection, as Instagram. So it's sometimes what I do is just create the actual video and then I will go and put it into Instagram and then choose whatever trending audio is there at the time. And there are ways to figure out what's trending and what's on the way up and what's on the way down. So that's just another option there that you can use. Again, same thing, another reel. So another fun one for bachelorette party. And again, using all videos that were available that were B-roll that I did not have to make, I did not have to pay for. I pay for Canva Pro, but I think Canva Pro is a really good value. Um, I do pay a monthly, I think it's like $13 a month, which is like because I use it for multiple businesses, for me it's really of a lot, it's very very valuable. So, here's another another example of daily affirmations that I kind of just made the same one and then I'm gonna chat GPT and put different daily affirmations in for my travel business on, self-care and travel and excitement and all that stuff. So just an example. Here's another one. It was a mood board. This was last summer I created this and just I picked, pictures that I liked that made me happy. I put, these were different things I put together and it was just a bunch of different content. I think it was like 8 days of content for my Instagram. And these are all using Instagram squares. So you want to add an equal amount of pretty and pictures and also value. So tips, tricks, ideas, things that you've learned over the time, ways, good things that you can pass on to travelers, things maybe that are coming out about like now when you travel to Europe, I think it's starting in the May, May or June, they have to apply for what's called an ETAS, which is like basically like a traveler's visa, or it's kind of it's not a visa, but it's like an a approval for traveling in, and it kind of like states the purpose. And they have to pay a certain amount. I think it's like it's part of a background check. There's a couple of different things, nuances to it, but it's basically just to make sure that people are not going into the country that are not supposed to be there. But you can put different things. It doesn't have to all be pretty. It doesn't have to be inspirational. It could be something of value that you can give to your clients and you kind of, the thing I've learned with digital marketing that I like to impress upon agents is that um, you want to put equal parts of value that people will get out of it because sometimes they might not be more looking to plan a trip, but if you're adding value to your content, whether it's, tips and tricks for traveling or maybe, um things that maybe facts you can share about certain destinations or maybe a new law that's coming out, that you want people to be prepared for if they're traveling. If you post things that are of value content wise, people will start to follow you just on based on that. It doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, maybe they just like your content. And so eventually they might end up, you know, reaching out to you and booking and becoming a client of yours. But if you add value, that is one of the best ways to sell yourself, not only as a travel agent, but in any way. Like if you're selling anything, it's just one of the best ways to do that because people are always going to purchase things from people that they like, know, and trust, which I'm sure if you've taken any kind of digital marketing or any kind of social media training, that is a big part of it. So, relating to your audience, adding content that is valuable and has value to the people that are in your audience, and also, just making things worth it, worth the follow, because you don't want just yes, pretty pictures are one thing, and we're far past that point where Instagram is just about t pretty pictures. Yes, that is a big part of it still. But there's so much more value in the content now that's being posted on Instagram than there was in the beginning days, because it used to just be a place where people took pretty pictures and that was it. Now it's become so much more than that. And reels and stories have really helped to put that forward. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're creating content for your social media. because value is definitely a big part of what you're trying to create. Not just, mock bookings, not just pretty pictures, things that are, inspirational and affirmational. And yes, those are all great, but definitely adding value to your content is going to be important and key. So I'm going to stop there with all of the things I've showed you. I've shown a lot, but if there's anything that you guys want to see specifically, or you have any questions about where I found things, you can hop on now and you can either unmute yourself or put it in the text in the chat box, whichever you prefer. And I'd love to be able to kind of show you guys if you have any questions about how to do that. Ooh, Instagram stickers. So it's hard to do it on my computer, but I can show you, I can record a video for you. If you want to drop down your Instagram handle, or even your Facebook profile, I can record a video on my phone because it's easier to show it on the phone. But there are some content creators that I follow that do videos on how to do that. But yes, it's a really that's a really cool thing and I love it. I actually learned that probably a few months ago for the first time. It's a lot of fun. All right, perfect. I will find you on Facebook and I will follow you and then I'll DM you and I'll record a little video for you if you'd like. It's pretty cool to do. And it's another cool thing. Like you can do a lot of different things with Instagram that are like not things I can show on a computer. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where you have to kind of do it in a screenshot or a screen recording on your phone. It's just the easiest way to show you how to do it because not all of the functionality of Instagram is available on the desktop. So.